I want to go to our Patriot Mobile Newsmaker line. Our good friend, Congressman Josh Brecheen from Oklahoma's 2nd Congressional District joins us. Congressman, hope you had a good weekend. Hope you're doing well today.
Thank you, Todd. Glad to be with you.
So a lot going on here, Congressman, and not just with what's happening in Ukraine, but also right here at home. And you guys are barreling towards a shutdown deadline in Congress. What's the very latest on the House budget resolution?
Well, so the resolution actually is tied into this one big, beautiful bill concept that our committee, the Budget Committee, helped put together as of 2 weeks ago. It's being floated now on the Senate. There's a lot of consternation from the Senate side. My great hope is the Senate understands how difficult that was to pass out of the House, and that they don't go too much in depth of trying to remake it, because we only had one vote to lose on the House side. But that reconciliation bill that you keep hearing everyone talk about, it ties into this middle of March deadline on the discretionary spending, because in tandem with what we're trying to do with budget neutrality and cut and all the things that it's going to take to extend the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act and the things that President Trump wanted to do, we also have an agreement put in the reconciliation instructions that we would hold the discretionary spending flat for the next 2 years. And so this all is in tandem. It's all going to work together. We're willing to do some things on the defense side, in the mandatory on the reconciliation side, as long as we get commitment that the 12 appropriation bills, the discretionary side, that we can hold it flat. We do all those things if we can hold it flat, and the things we want to do within the reconciliation side on the mandatory spending. It gives us a chance to save $750 billion over a 10-year period.
Which, I mean, you think that sounds like a lot of money, but at the end of the day, it's really not when you consider how much this country's already in debt. But it's better than nothing, I suppose. That's
the last part of your comment is what, in reality, what we've done in setting this framework, it would be 400 times more the cut that Congress has ever done. Is that a sad pronouncement? It is, Todd. But at least we're trying to teach some of our colleagues that are really resistant to cutting in general, because waste has a constituency. At least we would start the process. People have to go home and answer. And then they go, wait a minute, you mean I can vote for cuts and I give people the rationale, we're trying to save this country and I won't lose my election? That's the fear-mongering. That's the resistance, even within the Republican Party, that's made really turning our rhetoric in reality, turning savings cuts into something we actually execute on. That's why for 30 and 40 years, the Republican Party has gotten a bad rap on this, because we've not proven true to our rhetoric. And well, this gives us a chance to start going down that pathway. No,
yeah, look, 1,000% accurate here. The last thing that the Republicans have is being fiscally accountable, and that's sort of been hit or miss, mostly miss lately. So the Senate, we were hearing last week and week before last, we were hearing that the Senate's plan would not have the cuts. Are you hearing that as well?
Well, that's what I started off saying. My great hope is the Senate doesn't go in and mess around with this thing.
Yeah.
Because we balanced. I was in the room with 4 or 5 others. Huge shout out to West Texas Congressman Jody Anderson, who's our Budget Committee Chairman, Chip Roy, Paul Winfrey, came up with this really great concept, pulling on something that was done in 2001, where we can adjust the dials, meaning as we can get more cuts and more savings, we can do more things with tax, the ways and means side on the tax structure side. But it all is dependent upon having the courage to execute upon finding the savings and the inefficiencies. What DOJ is doing on the discretionary side, we're trying to do on the mandatory side. And the reality is, Todd, everybody wants to run. There's a great article, I think Wall Street Journal said, who's afraid of Medicaid cuts or Medicaid reforms? The able-bodied population now is the largest subgroup on Medicaid. It's no longer the blind, the disabled, the elderly, the pregnant or nursing mother, which is what the program was designed for. FGA, Federal Federation of Government Accountability, says that it is now the able-bodied population, the largest subgroup on Medicaid. The Democrats are moving us because of how they've rolled this out, and Biden expedited it through executive orders. They have turned Medicaid into socialized health care for able men able to work, and they are displacing the real purpose for the service providing for the elderly, the disabled. They're becoming less important in terms of service provisions compared to the able-bodied guy who's, utilizing socialized health care.
Yeah,
and one more funny stat. Our population since 2012 has grown as a nation 6%. The Medicaid population since that same time frame, post-Obama, the Medicaid population has grown 60%.
Wow.
It's unsustainable.
1,000%. Well, Congressman, look, we really appreciate you coming on. I know you've been super busy today, but we appreciate the great work that you're doing up on Capitol Hill, and we're going to get you back in for a longer conversation.
Appreciate it, sir.
All right. Congressman Josh Brecheen, ladies and gentlemen, out of Oklahoma's 2nd Congressional District. And he's right. I mean, look, this is going to be a huge battle, and the Senate and Senate Republicans are about to send back to the House what is going to be a massive, massive budget resolution. And it's just, we're not going to be able to do it.